Let's start a podcast about our mental health. For no good reason why, let's call it Mind Cake.
Hello, cakers, and welcome to another slice of Mind Cake.
Mind Cake.
With him,
Lee Crompton. And him,
Greeno Eats.
Greeno Eats.
Or Pete Green, if you want to give me my real name.
So first of all, Paul isn't dead. We should point that out. He's alive and well. He's just a very busy beeson. This week, we have the pleasure of Mr. Peter Green of Greeno Eats. Now, I was going to introduce you as a school friend and then realised we'd never actually been to school together.
No, never at the same school.
Never. So, not even an ex-school friend. Just
Nope.
How do we describe that then?
We are
Ex-football team
from back in the day.
back in the day.
Wareham Rangers under 16s B team.
B team, yeah, we weren't good enough for the A team.
Well, I was good enough for the A team. I just had an argument with a manager, so moved to the B team. But whatever.
Well, depends who you speak to, Pete. Do I recall that you were the goalkeeper?
I played goalkeeper a bit.
Yeah.
And centre half occasionally. Bit of a chopper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Long time ago. Not a very good goalkeeper. I'm not very tall, so that doesn't help.
Well, you say not very good, but you just professed that you were good enough to be in the A team.
Well, not as a goalkeeper.
No. No. And then since then you've had many manifestations. I remember we sort of knocked about together in our early 20s when we went to see Bournemouth matches.
That's right, yep.
Then you did a bit as a linesman.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Then you are or were or are the announcer at Weymouth Football Club, is that right?
I'm the former announcer, stadium announcer of Weymouth Football Club.
Okay.
I oversaw them get relegated once.
Oh, good. Oh, nice.
And almost relegated twice. I watched a lot of terrible football for 3 years and then gave it up.
You do. To be fair, you do like a bit of terrible football.
I do. Yeah, it's very disappointing how good Bournemouth are these days.
Yeah,
it was much better when we were losing at home to Bury and Lincoln and teams like that.
Uh-huh. Away trips to Walsall were always a highlight. So yes, Mr. Pete Green of Greeno Eats is here, and the reason it will become more apparent after we've spoken to this week's guest why the connoisseur that is Greeno Eats has been drafted in for a bit of cake. But for now, without further ado, we shall get into this week's guest, who is the British and former European rally champion, Mr. Chris Ingram. Welcome to another slice of Mind Cake where we are joined by the wonderful Chris Ingram. Chris, how are you?
Yeah, doing great, thanks, Lee. Just recovering from watching a Champions League match last night. Got home quite late, but yeah, great to speak to you and looking forward to it.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt into your. We should mention that you're currently in. Well, I say currently in Monaco. You live in Monaco.
Yeah, I've been here almost 3 years now.
Wow.
But I'm from Manchester originally, so different worlds really.
Yeah. So you're a City fan.
Yeah, original City fan.
Original City, not one of the hangers on.
Exactly. Yeah. But my main sport is motorsport.
You were at the game last night.
Yeah.
And what was it? I didn't. Do you know what? I've missed that score. What was the score?
2-2.
2-2.
Yeah. And it's quite funny for us because my son, the other side of his family, are all big Monaco supporters and
oh really
involved with the club. So it was going to be a bit of family rivalry. But yeah, nice. A draw keeps it quite.
Yeah. That's probably the safest result.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, and did I hear that you went into the change rooms afterwards, spoke to Pep, just a normal night in Monaco for you?
Yeah. Well, City have been really supportive of me and did some film features and some interviews by the pitch yesterday. It's amazing how they've supported me as a City fan, but, a fan doing well in other sport.
Yeah.
I think they've always done really well at that.
Good. So, listen, I know I've only got you for a limited amount of time, and you'll be glad to know, hundreds of questions to ask you. I've tried to condense as much as possible because this could go off in so many tangents. I should mention that we spoke on the phone probably a couple of weeks ago. That went on for quite a while and in many different directions.
Yeah.
So let's try and I'm not renowned for my focus, but let's try and dive straight in. Am I right in saying that you are the current European rally champion?
I'm the current British champion. Yeah, I won the European Championship before COVID.
Got you. Okay.
Youngest team to ever win it. First British driver in over 50 years to win it.
Uh-huh.
But then COVID came and I lost everything, really. Lost all my funding, didn't drive for almost 2 years. And then since then, I've been on a massive fight back. And then last year, winning the British title has been a massive boost to me to put me right on the cusp of World Championship again.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say what people I don't guess see behind the wheel is how rallying tests your mental health. I mean, there's so many rabbit holes I could go down here, but with trusting a co-driver for one. But in terms of, I suppose, pressures, do you find that there's more pressure inside the car internally or externally with expectations and sponsors and blah blah blah? I suppose it's a double-edged sword, isn't it?
Yeah, the driving's the easy bit. Yeah, it's the funding, the politics. They're the biggest challenges, really. I guess it's similar in a lot of sports, but yeah, to get the opportunity is the biggest part of it. And then when we get the chance to drive the car, myself and Alex Kirani, my co-driver, then that's just what we do best.
Yeah,
we fully believe in each other. We such an amazing team it just works effortlessly most of the time. But yeah, everything outside of the car has got to be going well to make the performance work.
So when you just dip it in there, I'm interested to know because you've been quite open about mental health struggles in the past. And I'm just wondering whether that comes from pressures that you put on yourself in terms of being the best that you can be, performing at your highest level, or like you say, getting the sponsors and all the other politics and all the other stuff that surrounds the sport that you're maybe not so much in control of.
Yeah, you're right. It's a great question, that Lee. It's definitely the things I have less control of, and giving up has never been an option.
Mm-hmm.
So I've just had to find a way to fight through, and that's not always easy. I've only given myself one option, and that's to be world champion. That's come with a lot of different challenges. So my son, you can hear my son laughing in the background probably. Yeah, there's been lots of different challenges, but the toughest part, the toughest moment for me was when I thought I'd made it, when I won the European Championship. Right, been working on that for several years, on stage with Lewis Hamilton, and then lost everything during COVID. To go from the best moment of my life to really struggling and the rug being pulled.
Yeah,
I think anyone would struggle with that.
But I guess nothing happened. There was no, you couldn't even rally. Could you rally behind closed doors? It was just scrapped because I guess you couldn't travel.
The sport carried on after a few months,
right?
But in my situation, I lost all my funding because my sponsors were focusing on the business rather than marketing.
Yeah.
So I was just playing PlayStation rally games to try and keep doing anything I could to, do something relevant to the sport.
What just again going off another tangent, what console do you play on?
It was PlayStation back then.
Right, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Could you
I did set up an online championship actually, which had 2,000 drivers sign up.
No way.
Yeah, that was really good fun. And
that does sound good fun.
Something to focus on.
What game was this? You don't mind me asking? Because
it was Dirt Rally, which is the Colin McRae franchise now.
Dirt Rally?
Yeah, Dirt Rally 2.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah.
I'll check that out. I'll probably get it out on pre-owned now for.
Yeah,
and let me know if you're gonna do any more online stuff. Then let me know.
Will do.
I'll be rotten, but I'll give it a go. Were you any good?
Yeah, I was top 10.
Okay.
And there was quite a few other, like a few of my friends who are also real life drivers
Right. Okay.
sign up. There was about 20 like champions from across Europe.
Right. Okay. So it wasn't like Joe Muggins who's just
No,
got
it
a
was.
PlayStation. Right. Yeah.
It was a mix of everyone. So it was really good. Should have carried it on. But during COVID, it was the only thing we could do because it was just weren't allowed outside, basically.
A lot of drivers come from a particular background who have money and funding behind them. I'm talking, I guess, more with Formula One in terms of people buying drives, and because it's not a cheap sport. It's not like, you can't come from nothing like football where you're just kicking a ball around on a dirt pitch. But am I right in saying that you didn't have that backing?
Yeah.
I suppose just to make that peaks and troughs even more, you've come from literally nothing to be European champion to then back to nothing again.
Yeah, exactly. My dad actually did really well for himself when I was a kid in property. But then in 2008 recession, when I was about 12, 13, he lost his business, and as a family we went through really hard times and had to start from scratch. And I sort of grew up through that, which was weird. From my dad having a Porsche to then having to move out of our nice house and completely start from scratch. And that was a really tough moment for him and the family. But similar things happened in my career, weirdly. But I've just kept fighting on and believed in myself, because I've just had that deep belief that I can do it, and that faith that if you keep going, you can achieve these huge ambitions.
Which is I would say it's a rare mindset, especially these days, where you just keep plodding away in the face of adversity.
100%.
But I think backing yourself,
but turning a dream into a plan as well.
Yeah. Going back to mental health, okay, it's that thing of backing yourself, isn't it? And I think if you're struggling, like you say, at the back of COVID, I'd like to get into that. Is if that was your lowest ebb, how do you then go from that? How did that affect you in like a day-to-day thing? And then how do you pick yourself up from that and back yourself and go, do you know what? You're back to almost where you started with, I suppose, building up again, a bit like your dad, building up from scratch again, you're building your sponsors up from scratch again and getting that funding back in place.
Yeah, it was so difficult and a long journey. It wasn't something like a light bulb. Or, I'd like to say focusing on your strengths and the positives, but that's easier said than done. It was a real journey to making things happen again and building myself back up, building my confidence up, daily habits and good people. I'd say that was the key.
So what were these habits? What did you do?
So for me, it's all exercise, just loving myself, as in taking care of myself the best I could, and getting some support. So I wasn't dealing with everything in my own mind. I had some awesome support and some mentors that sort of kept me on track to building back up my self-esteem and confidence, really. Because when you're at the bottom, it's like a spiral, isn't it? And it's reversing that, and it's not easy, but you've got to put yourself first and really connect and love yourself, which I always struggled with as a kid. I was always quite shy, and it wasn't natural to be confident.
Okay, that's interesting. So you wouldn't say you were a confident. I mean, you imagine. I guess it's the image, isn't it? You've got a European champion, British champion, living in Monaco. He's a rally driver. If you don't mind me saying, you're a good-looking lad. You think he must be one of the most confident people. You just, you give. I'm not saying in this conversation, but just in your, I guess, media persona. A confident aura.
Yeah.
And I guess that leads into another question in that, do you think sport in general does enough to, a lot of people are media trained and they maybe don't talk about the fact that they're struggling mentally behind the wheel or, in the changing rooms or whatever their facet is. I don't think there's many sports people who who necessarily speak out about their mental health. And do you think it's still a stigma in sport and in motorsport particularly?
100%. There's definitely still stigma around it, but I see it as a huge strength to be vulnerable and self-aware. Vulnerable is probably not the right word, actually, but just self-awareness. Everyone's going to struggle one day, I believe. I guess it's a different kind of confidence to admit where you can improve, rather than just to try to put out a perfect image all the time.
Yeah. No, I think I would say that vulnerable is a good word, because I think if you can show your vulnerabilities and you can show that life isn't perfect, then I think there is a confidence in that. If you've got that, and I think that's one of the things we've had on the podcast, if you can share your experiences and your vulnerabilities and whatever, I think that shows actually real strength. Although that's an oxymoron, I think that think that's a huge thing. And like you say, it's that self-awareness, it's that inner confidence that you feel confident enough to share your vulnerabilities. And I think then other people resonate with that and go, oh, they're not just these perfect stars living in Monaco and driving at 100 and how fast do you drive?
Yeah. Well, rally
Very
cars are restricted to like 200. Yeah, very, very fast.
Sorry, I'm going to go off another tangent here. How often do you drive the Formula One as you live in Monaco? How often do you go?
Pretty much every day.
Every day, yeah.
Because it is the main road through town.
Right, okay. And have you got a spare room that I could doss in if I got a flight over? Could I just?
Not at the moment.
No, not at the moment. Okay, right.
Okay,
well, I thought I'd ask.
Pretty small here.
We've gone off piste again, but I was thinking, what do you think sport can do, motorsport can do to kind of, I suppose, allay these myths?
What would help is people like myself talking out more. Some people just don't understand, do they, that have never struggled or have kept everything in and they're not willing to open up at all. Maybe they're the people in charge.
Yeah.
So it's a difficult conversation, really. I think the top champion speaking out would be the biggest, the most powerful thing.
So when you become world champion, and we'll come on to that as to what the stage is. So is the next stage you need to regain the European Championship before you can go for the world, or can you just go? Because I say, can you just go for the world as if it's
Yeah, no, I can go straight there.
And is that the plan?
That's the plan. I've been preparing for it all year this year to compete next year in 26. There's a lot of preparation, but also still funding required. I'm actually selling shares in myself to secure that funding. So when I get a drive in Rally 1, which is where the big money is and the drivers are getting paid huge salaries yearly, I'll be able to pay back the investment and more. So that's
okay. So how do I buy a share in you, Chris?
So I've got a business plan and a business set up here, and I've already started to take the first investors on board.
Right. Can anyone do it, or do you have to be,
There is a minimum because of the admin and even the accounting costs money. So there is a minimum, but are
we allowed to say what that minimum is?
The minimum investment is 50,000 euros. Yeah.
Could it not just as it's a part of you? Could I not just go for an earlobe or a toenail or something? I can't just get a little. No.
Not this time, mate. Sorry.
Not this time. Okay. If you are selling off any smaller body parts, drop me a line, and if it's a couple of £100, then I'm all in.
Oh, that's very kind, mate.
Okay, so
I did crowdfunding to win the European Championship.
Did you?
Yeah, on GoFundMe, because I didn't have the funding to get to the final few rounds, and there was 500 people who chipped in to help me win that, which was the first time an FIA major motorsport title's been won backed by crowdfunding. Yeah. But to be honest, it's something that I don't really want to do again, because it needs to be more business minded from now on. that was a special scenario. It was a big title that I could win, and people said, "Chris, we want to help you. How can we help you?" So it was actually set up, and people made it happen, and it was quite a last chance, bit of a desperate position. Whereas now, I've got a proper structure in place, and some big, talking to a lot of big businesses and investors, and already, like I said, started the ball rolling, which is really looking positive and exciting.
Good. Am I right in saying, I don't know if it was the British or the European, or maybe both, but you've gone through all this hard work, you've gone through all these blood, sweat and tears, you've done the crowdfunding, you've managed to get to the pinnacle of the sport, and the prize money was...
The prize money was 100,000 in the European.
But was it the British that was nothing?
The British, there was nothing.
Right. But so you won the British, you're the best driver in Britain, and your prize money is nothing.
Yeah. I mean, the money in the sport comes from the manufacturer.
Yeah.
And the British Championship was private teams.
Right, okay.
So, the world champion is on 8 figures and getting bonuses for every rally won. So it's all of the money's at Rally 1 level in the World Championship.
Yeah.
It's quite brutal that it's not shared down, but that's like many sports. It's only the top. We need to get to the top.
I need to go away and save £50,000. I'm in. I'm all in. What are you driving? Man. What are you driving to win the British and European? The same car, different car?
Same class, so Rally 2.
Okay.
Rally 1 is only the top 10 in the World Championship. It's a quicker car. Yeah. But Rally 2 is basically the main class across the world. Okay. The fastest rally car across the world. The European was a Skoda, which is obviously nothing like a Skoda, but with a Skoda badge stuck on. And then the British last year was a Toyota Yaris GR.
Right, okay.
Which is an awesome little car. Even as a road car, they're awesome.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like, they were built so they could turn it into a rally car.
Right.
That was the whole focus of that GR Yaris, yeah.
Right, okay. Interesting. My wife drove a Skoda Fabia Estate.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think she drove it as fast as you do, though.
No, I doubt it.
Driving Miss Daisy, because she's very, what's the word I could use? Methodical in her approach to driving.
Yeah. Well, maybe on the road she's faster than me, because I'm actually very slow and calm on the road.
Do you just have to say that, Chris, because in case you get into trouble?
No, I actually am. Like, my girlfriend tells me off for
really
not being too dopey and not driving fast enough.
Well, I suppose it's a work-life balance, isn't it? You don't want to take your work home with you.
Exactly.
You just want to leisurely drive, poodle around the Monaco Grand Prix circuit. In your what? What do you drive? What's your norm? What's your everyday car?
I've just got a little run around here at the moment. A little Polo GTI.
Polo GTI, nice.
Yeah. Does the job.
Yeah.
Small and nippy enough.
Yeah, I was going to say,
park in Monaco with it.
I was going to say, is there much parking in Monaco? I wouldn't imagine there's many car parks.
That's the main problem with Monaco, is it's so tightly crammed everywhere.
Yeah, my heart bleeds for you, Chris. It really does. I remember looking out my window in Scotland, where it's grey and drab. And what's the weather like in Monaco? Nice, is it?
It's pretty nice, mate. Yeah, not gonna lie.
Yeah. No, nice. So rallying obviously depends on another person's split seconds call.
Yeah.
How do you? Again, I suppose.
Have you ever been in a rally car?
No.
Oh, I've got to take you in.
That was going to be my final question.
If
you're ever in Scotland, can I come in a rally car with you?
Yeah, you've got to experience it.
Okay, well, listen, I'm taking you up on that.
Yeah, we'll do it.
We'll do it.
The plan.
I'm genuine about that. I would fucking love to.
Nice one.
But going back to I'm not co-driving for you because I wouldn't have a fucking clue. But I suppose
you can't do it then.
I
You have to
can't-
learn.
Well, here we go. Right. Okay. I know we're going to run out of time here, but it's almost, as all my questions are, 3 or 4 part questions. In that, I suppose, first of all, how do you put your trust in that other person? How do you build the trust with the other person? And then, presumably, do you walk the course together and make the notes, or how is that process of
It'd be a
putting your
long
trust?
walk because rallies are 300 kilometers.
Well, how do you do it then? How does
So,
he
so
come
we
up with his
drive the
notes?
route in a normal road car slowly.
Yeah, sorry.
I
When I say
describe
walk the route, yeah, you're not
I
going to walk.
describe the
Yeah.
road to him.
Yeah.
So each corner in angles, each straight in meters. He writes it all down, and then the second we go again, the second time he reads it back to me, and we make any tuning to the pace notes.
Right. Okay.
So we only get to see the road twice, the route.
And is that the limit, or is that just what
Yeah.
you do?
That's the limit. So
Right.
it's the co-driver's role is so important. We couldn't do it without them. To build that trust with Alex, my co-driver, we did. He's been around for years anyway, competing against me, and then we decided to join forces on a small rally and see how it went. With him, it just clicked. I was just like, this guy, he's a serious professional like me, and we did this small rally in France, and it was like made to be. I struggled to listen, but all of his directions were just going in, and it was just perfect. And we were quite lucky that trust and that bond in the car and together with the pace notes was pretty effortless. And then we got a great relationship outside the car as well.
I think that's where me and you might fall down, in that I'm confident we'd have an okay relationship outside the car. I'm slightly concerned that obviously he's a professional.
You talk a bit too much, I think, Lee. That's the problem.
I'd be talking too much. Just shut the fuck up, Lee, will you please? I'm trying to drive at really fast speeds. Yeah, you probably just mute. I presume you can mute me, can you? Plus, I don't know going at that speed whether I'd be able to just read notes calmly.
I don't know how they do it. It's a mental job.
Because again, as much as you're putting your trust in him,
Yeah.
with reading the notes and telling you what's happening or what's about to come up, he's put his trust in you because he has no control over the car.
Yeah. It's insane.
So
I could never do that.
I'm bad enough when I get the
I'm
shots of the
looking
driver in
down.
the passenger seat with my
He's
missus.
looking down for most of the time. Like, some of the stages are so twisty and busy that he doesn't even look up at the road for half an hour. So he's just feeling each corner, where we
Because I
are.
never thought of that. So he's not looking ahead and going, oh, this is what's coming up next.
Most of the time not.
Because he's just looking at his notes.
Yeah, and feeling how tight that corner was.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because like you say, hang on, Chris, I've lost my place. Where was I? Too late. Bang, you've hit a
that
tree.
used to happen a lot, when I started with some amateur co-drivers.
Yeah, maybe rethink us meeting up in Scotland. I'm more than happy to do it, but just don't expect the same level of professionalism. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no problem.
Right. I don't know whether you've listened to any previous episodes, but I am kind of renowned for my Jeremy Paxman hard-hitting questions, and I'd like to just finish up with some toughies, just some quick-fire toughies, if that's okay. So, if you feel uncomfortable, just let me know. My first question was going to be, are you related to Major Ingram, who was the guy who was coughing on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Brilliant.
Is he any relation to yours? And if so, do we feel more sympathy towards him if he was trying to win the money in order to get you to finish the stage?
He is not related, but it could be useful to try and help find some funding.
Well, I put 2 and 2 together, and I thought Ingram funding Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. There has to be a connection there.
No one's ever asked me that.
I'm pleased because I thought that was going to be one. Oh yeah, the old Major Ingram question. Oh.
Yeah, never had that.
Okay, so you're sticking with no.
Yeah.
Okay. What is scarier, crashing at 100 miles an hour or losing a sponsor? I guess it depends on the
Definitely
sponsor.
crashing at 100 mile an hour off a cliff.
Yeah. Have you done that?
Yeah, I've rolled off a cliff before.
Have you?
But luckily, the car's so strong, I just climbed out and I was absolutely fine,
Okay.
which is quite surreal.
And I guess that comes back to, are you the sort of person who can bounce back from that? So you've crashed or you've not done so well in a stage or whatever. Can you bounce back from that and go, do you know what? I know I've got it in me. I'm backing myself and get straight back in the car? Or does that knock your confidence and mental health if you have a setback?
It's never not me, because actually when I've crashed, I've not lost control of the car. I've just gone too fast for the pace note. I've never actually lost control. Do you know what I mean? I've just gone too fast.
Yeah. I'll use that if I ever in a crash with the police and go, well, officer, I never lost control of the vehicle. I was just driving too fast. and they'll probably just let me off, wouldn't they?
Exactly. Yeah. That's it.
Remember
Simple
that. If that's the takeaway from this episode, is that's what you need to do if you ever get
blame your co-driver.
Blame your co-driver.
That now.
I'm going off at another tangent here, Chris. You'll be surprised to learn. One thing I was going to say about co-drivers and whatever are the British, European, and world. So 3 separate questions. Are they the same stages every year, or are they different stages?
So each rally, the calendars are more or less the same. So like Monte Carlo is always the first round of the World Championship, but the stages within that rally change more or less. 50% of it changes every year.
Right.
So we do go and do some roads the same year after year. But it's never exactly the same.
Right. Okay. So I was thinking, going back to the co-driver question and your PlayStation question, all I was thinking was, could you technically, like, I suppose Grand Prix, right? I've had the Grand Prix on the PlayStation. I know Interlagos.
Yeah.
Inside out.
Better than Lewis Hamilton.
Better than Lewis Hamilton. I would say better than Lewis Hamilton. Because, showing my age here, Interlagos always used to be the first one on the calendar.
Right.
And they always used to start in Brazil. And in the olden days, when you couldn't like save your progress, and you had, so if I got to rally, if I got to race 3 or 4 in the championship, and I like had an absolute howler, you'd have to start again.
Okay.
So you go back to Interlagos.
You just restart.
So you end up getting 2 or 3 races in and go, oh fuck this! I've messed up my championship chances. I'll go back. You start again. So he just kept doing like Interlagos over and over again. But I'm sensing that that's not the same then with rally. You can't learn the routes or the circuits. They're not circuits, are they? But you can't learn the routes and then go. They are ever evolving and changing.
Rarely. I mean, there's some like classic roads which they always use.
Right.
There's a road near Monaco called the Col de Torini, which is like the most amazing, brutal road in the world. And they always put that on because it's so special. But most of it changes every year.
Again, okay, just stopping you there then. So if I could get an EasyJet flight from Glasgow to Monaco, I don't know whether they fly to Monaco, whether the nearest like budget airport would be.
Nice.
Could we drive that road that you've just mentioned?
Yeah, absolutely.
Albeit not under rally conditions, but
it's only like 45 minutes away.
Is it?
It's the roads nearby are just unbelievable, like James Bond type stuff. Yeah, they were all used on films and stuff like that. But there's actually also going to be a stage in Monaco next year for the first time in 20 years. So we're going to use part of the circuit for one of the stages, which is going to be epic.
Wow. Well, I'm just saying, if your co-driver, I forget his name. What was his name?
Alex, yeah.
It was Alex. Yeah, I was going to say Alex, and I thought I got that wrong. If Alex is ill for whatever reason, I'm just saying, I'm available.
Okay, mate.
Right.
I think I'll pass, but we'll get you in the car some other day.
Rude.
100%.
Yeah. No, seriously, I would. Yeah, I'd do that. Look, listen. I hate bringing up the whole cancer thing every fucking episode, but if it's taught me anything, right? If I've got an opportunity to fly to Monaco budget airlines, and do a stage or part of a stage with the British champion.
Yeah.
Why would I not do that?
Yeah.
Getting it back to mind cake nonsense. Do you give your cars names?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
All right.
Just use and abuse them.
Right. Okay. Yeah, probably not best to give them names then.
I'm not very sentimental with them.
It was who's the Red Bull driver? Vettel. I know he's not
Yeah.
Red Bull anymore, but Vettel used to give them names, I think, didn't he?
It's a bit weird, that, I think.
Right. Okay. No, I'm just interested. You didn't strike me as a guy who would give your cars names, but can I ask you?
I'm all for spirituality, but cars are pieces of metal, aren't they?
Well, it's like you've just read my mind, as you've done this before, because that is a brilliant segue into how our paths have crossed. Spirituality. I was contacted by Cara Spirit Guide.
Yeah.
Saying that she knew you and you would be an awesome guest. And did she want me to contact you and see whether you come on? So do you want to say a bit about how you crossed paths with Cara and how she's helped you with your spiritual side and just
Yeah, so a lady actually said, I've got this I've paid for this mind reading, psychic reading, but I don't want to go. Do you want to go? And I was like, I literally just met this woman in a cafe. And I was like,
he's not a friend of yours?
No. And I was like, obviously completely skeptical, like many people. But I went along and she told me things that she couldn't possibly have found out.
And you weren't even the person she was supposed to see?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lovely lady, incredible lady. And then I also went back because she does Reiki, and that was actually even more mind-blowing. How I felt after doing Reiki, how balanced, and just quite hard to explain. But wish I could do that every week, really.
Yeah. It is weird because I'll have to ask Cara, and I will ask her, and I'll put it in the show notes, of how many drivers who live in Monaco does she see? Because it ties in, not only does Cara tie into the story of how we met and how you're now on the podcast, it also ties into the fact that when I was in Knutsford and my friend Hannah said, when I get back to Dorset, I'm going to see my spirit guide. Yeah, you should definitely do that, Hannah. You should definitely do, because she's in all that shit. I'll tell you what, I should go. We're in Knutsford. We were sat in a Costa Coffee in Knutsford on a Saturday morning, and if the stars are aligned, someone will have availability. And yeah, not expecting anyone to have availability, but Cara had availability, and the reason she had availability was that she'd had a cancellation because the weather was really bad. It was December. The weather was really bad. It was snowing in Knutsford, and apparently a person from Monaco who was a driver couldn't come in. So I don't know whether it was you flying into Knutsford or whether it was a Zoom call that was cancelled or whatever, but because of the weather, it was cancelled, which opened up an opportunity for me to then have my reading with Cara.
It was definitely me.
It was you, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Is that not weird? I can't imagine she sees many drivers from Monaco.
No. Well, I'm from Knutsford, where she's from.
Yeah.
But I've only known her for a few years, but she's been an incredible person to have met in my life, and she has a lot of wisdom to share.
She does. Well, I think that might be the perfect place to end it. Thank you, Cara, thank you for cancelling your appointment with Cara because of bad weather. And thank you, Cara, for introducing the pair of us, and which has manifested in this grand conversation.
Definitely, yeah.
And just to double down, if you are ever in Scotland, please will you take me out in your rally car?
Yeah, I'll there might be a Scottish rally in the World Championship next year. So let's see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fingers
Thanks so
crossed.
much, Lee. Been a pleasure to
Nice
speak
one.
with you, and thanks to Cara for introducing us.
So I don't know whether you've listened to any of this before, Mr. Green, but me and Paul would generally talk shite about the guest, not talk shite about the guest, but just,
Yeah, what a terrible man.
What a terrible man. He's a lovely man. The problem
he did
with
seem
Chris
like a very,
Ingram,
very nice man.
He was the problem with Chris Ingram. He was a very nice man and also a very good-looking man. Now, usually with good-looking men, I like them to be a bit of an arsehole.
Have you covered inferiority complexes yet in your
No,
podcast
that's next week's. Tune in next week, folks, for Mind Cake Inferiority Complex. But yes, no, he's a very nice man, and I'd like you've listened to the episode. Paul doesn't normally listen to the episodes, so you're one up on him. You've listened to the episode.
I have more than once.
What is more than once? Blimey!
Yeah.
What were your takes from the episode, Mr. Green?
Well, I mean, I got to say, he sounds like an incredibly well-balanced man. As you know, and as I know, you go through quite a lot of highs and lows in life, and it's quite easy to get a little bit bitter about some of them.
Yes.
And he doesn't seem to. He's like, yeah, COVID came along. I pretty much lost everything. But, crack on, shall we?
Yeah.
And I've got a goal. I want to be a world champion. So, so let's do that, shall we? And that's just incredible. And sort of listening to the way he talks about his sport and I've watched a bit of on the telly.
Yeah.
Ordinarily, you'd say a British rally driver, you go, all right, well, he's probably all right, but he's not Finnish, so he's not going to win anything, because apparently you have to be from Finland to win anything in rallying. But the way he talks about it and sort of, the trust he's putting in the co-driver, and, I saw you were angling for a little spot in that, which, having driven to Middlesbrough and back with you from the Dorset area, Chris, if you're listening, don't let him go in the car with you. It's a really bad idea.
Yeah, listening back, I did make the faux pas of, do you walk the course at all before you do?
I did.
Yeah, no, it's like 200 kilometres, you absolute tit. Yeah, we don't walk the course.
Yeah, we're not doing show jumping in a rally car.
It's not golf. But yes, he was very, very well balanced. And like I say, I was trying for he's obviously been through a tough time with one thing or another. And I was trying to get, did you get down after COVID? And he's had his problems, but he's kind of got back on the horse or back in the car and done it again. And, do you get like niggles of self-doubt when you crash at 100 mile an hour, whatever? Well, no. I mean, it did make me laugh when he said, no, I've never lost control of the car. Yeah. I was just driving too fast. That sounds like something.
Control of the car. Just that tree got in the way.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like something Dave would say.
Yeah, when he's talking about rolling down a cliff in the car or whatever, but you didn't lose control of it. No, you were.
No, he didn't.
No,
he was just driving too fast.
Driving too fast off the edge of a cliff. But then, even to come out of stuff like that without oh well, that's happened. Let's get back in the car and drive like a crazy person again.
Yeah,
it's incredible, isn't it?
I think the thing I took away from it is that listening to him, I believed him. I genuinely believe he's going to be world rally champion.
Yeah. Well, he's just got that focus. And the interesting thing is, I mean, I don't know if this applies to rallying, but I know it applies to some other motorsports. It's almost the backing and the equipment that's as important as the driver. You look at Formula One, for example. I happen to think probably out of the drivers that are currently, I still think Fernando Alonso is the best driver out there. Maybe Max Verstappen. He's not going to win anything because his car's not as good as anyone else's. So, if Chris can get that kind of funding to be that competitive at the very top level, then why not? And I think he's demonstrated he's got the drive, for want of a better word, to go out there and get that by whatever means necessary. I mean, that whole thing about selling shares in himself. Effectively,
I'm still trying to negotiate that. I'd want a toenail for like $1,000 or something.
Well, I mean, I've been looking for something to invest some of my mum's estate in, so you never know.
Well, listen, I did
Greeno
think
Eats plastered on the side of his car.
Greeno Eats on the side of the car. That would be immense.
Brilliant, wouldn't it? If you
blinking, you miss it.
Exactly. What's that? It's just like the blur of some fat lad's head goes past.
I did think that if we got all of our listeners to put in £10,000,
you might get close.
I might get close to the 50,000.
You never know.
So I was gonna do a mind cake, because he doesn't obviously want to do the crowdfunding. So I was thinking of doing it for him, just for our share of the toenail.
Right.
See if we can get enough listeners, 5 wealthy listeners, 10 grand each.
Yeah.
Well, 4.5, because I'll put in 5.
Right.
You've just said you want to put in some of your mum's money, so that's another 5. So actually, we need 4 listeners. 4 of the 5 listeners, who happen to have £10,000 disposable income,
which I'm sure they do. Yeah, undoubtedly. Yeah, no problem.
But they've got nothing better to do than listen to this podcast. So,
well, exactly. So they must be rolling in money. If they, rolling in money. This is the best thing to do with their time. Well, I did wonder when you were talking about that with him. How many people is he going to try and get to put 50 grand in? I mean, what is the sort of the total amount of money that it needs? Because it's got to be a hugely expensive affair.
Yeah,
you've got to have a whole team around you. There's all the logistics and travelling, and you got to ship your car around the world, presumably, and unless you get your co-driver to drive it there.
Yeah, I don't think
in Azerbaijan next.
How much did it cost you in fuel? Wouldn't it? Got to cost you a lot in petrol.
I don't think they're allowed on the roads anyway, are they?
Well, he say that when I was speaking to him on the phone, because his dad used to rally drive, I think.
Right.
He was saying, and I remember watching it when it was down in like Wareham Forest, and
that's right. Yeah, I remember going along to that. Yeah.
So they had different stages. So one would be like in Wareham Forest, then another one they used to have it like along the front of Bournemouth and through the gardens. So
they were presumably closed roads, though. We're just nipping in and out of traffic.
Yeah. But they used to drive between the stages.
Ah, right. Okay.
So you'd see him on the road. So presumably they've got an MOT.
Must have. Oh, interesting.
Anyway, what I did like about Chris was, since our conversation, I have been messaging him about whether
Dirt Rally 2.
So I'm just showing Mr. Green a copy of a pre-owned. It doesn't even come with the cover. Look, no, there's no.
Right.
It's literally just the disc.
Right.
Dirt Rally 2. So I did ask Chris on the WhatsApps that were going backwards and forwards, should I buy Dirt Rally 2 or the more recent? Because I think the World Rally, the WRC, have now taken over the franchise.
Okay.
Which I think is an EA Sports thing now.
Right.
So should I buy that? And he's gone, no. It's got to be Codemasters Dirt Rally 2. So
on the PS4, not even the PS5.
No, not the PS5. No, I mean, what you got to remember, Pete, is I'm still playing FIFA 18. So Dirt Rally 2 is almost like an upgrade for me.
Right.
So yeah,
modern technology.
But his online. You've been doing a bit of online content as well, haven't you, with the games?
I have done a little bit, yeah. Football Manager related mostly.
What was that kind of plane crash thing you did?
Oh God, what was that game called? It was set like in the Russian Revolution or something.
That's right.
It wasn't. I think it was a train crash, not a plane crash.
Was it a train? Was it?
Yeah. So it was just like these random people, like one mad drunken Russian and a lady from the aristocracy and some Bolshevik, all just abandoned in the snow.
And they had to build a fire or something.
That's right. Learn how to build shelters and all that sort of nonsense.
I'll be honest, Pete. I didn't watch much past that.
Yeah,
I think I probably watched the first. Mate. Yeah, but look,
it wasn't a huge success. It was about as successful as your podcast.
Well, exactly. But from small acorns, Pete.
Well, indeed,
grows greener eats.
Indeed, which is
how many followers now?
We're almost at 55,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Okay, well that's only 54,700 more than Mine Cakes. I mean, it's no biggie, really.
Yeah, but you're dealing with big issues. I'm going around eating me lunch. It's a little bit of light entertainment for people at the end of the day.
Which does that segue into why I have drafted you in
Perhaps, very neatly.
Perhaps. We're coming into autumn.
We are.
We're maybe going to be doing a bit of comfort eating.
Almost
I say
certainly.
we, the royal, not just me and you. The royal.
Definitely me and you, but
definitely
possibly other
me and
people
you.
as well.
But maybe other people too.
Yeah, indeed.
So I've been in contact with Nick Nairn.
Nick Nairn, the Scottish chef of Ready Steady Cook fame,
Yes.
among other things.
He owns a very nice restaurant not too far from here in the Port of Monteith.
Beautiful.
So I reached out to him and said, listen, would you like to do... I mentioned Greeno Eats and he was like, no way. You're getting Pete Green on the podcast. I was like, yeah. He's like, I'm in. I am in. Yeah, so he's going to come on and do a stint on comfort eating, which I thought, who better to delve into that with than a man who's... Well, so like you say, how do I introduce you? Influencer? What would be your job title, Pete?
Mine?
Yeah.
Just YouTube food reviewer, really. I'm not an influencer.
Right.
Influencers are people, in my opinion, who kind of advertise businesses. So they might be paid to turn up and say how good things are.
Okay.
Whereas I always go, pay my bill and give my honest opinion, good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you can say, I mean, perhaps it does influence people, but I don't class myself as an influencer.
You're not getting paid to look at this package that just arrived from Uber Eats.
No, although I have done an advert for HelloFresh. So
have you?
Yeah.
And you mentioned as I was lording over my my very nearly script things, that you're off to the BAFTAs.
Off to the BAFTAs, yeah. It's
tomorrow,
amazing,
was that?
Oh no, that's on this Wednesday, I think. This Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Any particular reason why you're off to the BAFTAs?
Well, I'm a man of my standing in social media. No, they just got a restaurant and I want to go and eat my breakfast there. I'm up in London.
I mean, there's a two-part question I've got for you.
Yeah.
How many followers does what did you call yourself again?
Food reviewer.
What? Yeah. Are you a vlogger?
A vlogger, I guess.
Vlogger.
Yeah.
How many followers do you need to get an invite onto Strictly? And if you did get an invite to Strictly, would you do it?
Well, the answer to the first part of the question is clearly quite a lot, because I mean I'm friends with two food reviewers who've had significantly larger followings than I have. There's a guy called Gary Eats who's got about 350,000 subscribers, and Danny Malin, who until recently was the face of Rate My Takeaway. I don't know if you've come across them on YouTube at all. Big northern lad, used to go around and sit with his table and chairs outside kebab shops and the like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so he's a pal of mine, and he's got, well, on that channel anyway, he had 750,000 subscribers.
Jesus.
And neither of them have been asked, to the best of my knowledge. So,
okay.
So we have a way to go. Would I do it? Yeah, probably. I mean, I'd be very much, John Sargent material, I think. In the Anne Widdecombe.
Anne Widdecombe,
someone who I know you're familiar with.
Everyone I'm familiar with, yes. So Nick Nairn,
yeah,
I'm going to say he's coming on the show. I think he will come on the show. It wouldn't be the first time we've had a guest lined up and then all of a sudden the trail goes cold. Not mentioning any names. Terence Trent Darby.
He's changed his name to avoid you.
He did change. Yeah, you can't call him that anymore, and that was one of his stipulations: is you can't call him that.
Right. Well, fair enough.
So, and then the trail went cold. He wanted the questions up front. So I gave him the questions and we didn't hear any more from him. So I take it he didn't like the questions. Getting back to the Nick Nairn, I don't think he's going to do a Terence on me.
No, I don't think he'll be as problematical.
I don't think he'll be quite the I can't say diva just in case Terence just missed my emails and comes on. But
it was me who said that, so you're all right.
That's fine, yeah. So yes, one thing I should say as well, going back to Chris Ingram.
Yeah.
I have looked, you can get flights from Edinburgh to Nice.
Yeah.
with EasyJet.
Yeah, and that's only a 20, 30-minute train ride into Monaco from there.
Yeah.
So
right. Could take my copy of Dirt Rally too.
Exactly.
I do get a bit queasy on the waltzers, so I'll probably have to take my sickness bands.
Stugaron or something down you. Is that the travel
Yeah.
sickness tablets?
Yeah.
But yeah, even if he takes his nippy little polo out and takes
Yeah,
you
it'd be
around
right.
the rally stage,
I'd be happy with
give you a
that.
flavour for it.
Yeah, just take me out in the polo round the F1 circuit in Monaco.
Do you know what I mean? It's amazing what these guys can do. I'm going back 20 odd years ago. I took my old man to Thruxton for his 50th birthday.
Yeah.
Like one of those Ferrari driving experience kind of things. And you get taken around the course in like a little MG sports car and all that. And then they kind of let you loose with Porsches and Ferraris and a single-seater race car. But right at the end of the day, just when you think you're the dog's nuts because you're driving these like fast cars around what you think is brilliantly,
Yeah.
they actually put you in one of the fast, in the Ferrari or something with one of the track drivers.
Right, okay.
Who shows you how it's done, makes you realise you really weren't very good at all.
Yeah. Pete, unless you've got anything else to add from the episode, I think...
No. I'd like to say it's been a pleasure.
You'd like to say it's been a pleasure, or it has been a pleasure?
No, I will say it's been a pleasure. Say it. There we are, yeah.
Just to clarify that.
Yeah.
Just to make sure he is actually coming back for Nick Nen. But thank you for stepping into the breach.
No, it's a pleasure, mate.
It's been a while, so it's been good to have a bit of a catch-up as well. And
Indeed.
We'll see you, Mr. Pete Green from Greeno Eats, on the next episode with Nick Nen, if he shows up.
If he shows up, yeah.
Let's start a podcast about our mental